So, the Elden Ring DLC dropped about 2 days ago, and people have had very mixed feelings about it. So, I'm going to be giving my take on it and share it with you guys. I am going to avoid spoilers, but there's one important item I have to talk about because it's a key mechanic in the DLC, and it's the reason why people are complaining about Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm going to be talking freely about the base game though, so if you haven't played that already, you should probably back out of the video. I've played the DLC for about 25 hours so far, and I've played through most of it, but I still have a bunch of exploring to do. I'm currently not planning on uploading it on YouTube, so if you want to check it out, it is in my Twitch VODs, link down below. First off, I want to talk about the positives about it. Map is huge and is bigger than a lot of actual games. It is filled with caves who are like much longer than the base games. I've had so much fun exploring caves. It's been a blast. A big variety of bosses, a bunch of new weapons, and it's just so much fun to explore in general. I keep finding new secrets all the time, and it feels exactly the same way it did when I played the game for the first time. They've made some real quality improvements on dragons, which has made me enjoy fighting dragons a lot more, and the reason why I'm really happy about it is because there's a lot of dragons in the DLC. Most bosses I've really enjoyed fighting, and one of them is probably my favorite in the game now. Considering how bosses like Radahn, Malenia, Malekith, and Hoarlu are some of my favorites in gaming, that is really impressive. The DLC is more challenging than the base game, and you might say, how is the game being more challenging a good thing? Well, the answer to that is that I like a good challenge in a video game, because most games nowadays are just way too easy, in my opinion. That is the reason I got into Souls-likes in the beginning, in the first place. It's also because we've already had more than 2 years on the game, and people played it since launch, already knows the game inside out. It would just be boring if everyone would go in over-leveled and first try every single boss, in my opinion. That's not what I wanted from this DLC. Like, don't get me wrong, I was struggling going into the DLC in the beginning, but like, the more I've played, the more I enjoy it. Like, I'm enjoying the shit out of it, like, right now. Like, the last, like, I don't know, 15, 20 hours, like, I don't know. I would say probably the first 5 hours I was like struggling quite a bit, and then after that it was like so much fun. I've had so fun on the DLC. When I felt like I was hitting a wall, I just went somewhere else. That has been the concept of Elden Ring since day one. That is why it's open world. How do people still not get that? I honestly don't get it. I feel like that's why people are complaining about the difficulty. They're going into the DLC with an OP build, really overleveled, and like Mimic tier or Teach or whatever, like maxed out, expecting things to be easy because there's nothing to do to improve your character. That is where they're wrong, and this is where I'm going into the key item that I was talking about in the beginning. So, the blessings. The blessings in the DLC make the levels almost irrelevant. As long as you're going to the DLC at like at least like level 120, I would say. There's one blessing that improves the damage you take, and one that improves the damage torrent and your summons take. If you don't explore, there are bosses that are literally going to like two-shot you or like even one-shot you on some attacks. Explore and find these blessings, and you will have like a much better time. They want you to explore for you to experience all the work they've put into it, not to go into the DLC and steamroll it and miss like all of the good content, like all of the side content, all the bosses, all the caves, like everything. If you read the tutorials, literally like 5 minutes into the DLC, you will understand how the blessings work. I feel like that's where people like missed out. They just like skipped through the tutorials and didn't even like understand what the blessings were for. But yeah, whatever. There are also some negatives about it so far that I found. I'm playing on PS5 and I've come across some stuttering issues, especially on one of the bosses. It made that fight unplayable at times and made me not enjoy it. If stuttering was not a thing, I would enjoy it like a lot more because the boss is so cool and is aesthetically pleasing. I won't go into like what boss it is because I don't want to spoil anyone, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. I don't know if it's an issue on PC as well, or if it maybe was just server issues, but that is something I personally found at least. This is something they will fix though, so yeah, I don't see it as a big issue. Like surely they're gonna fix it on like the first patch. If this is something that would bother you though, you might want to wait on console till the first patch update. Some areas also take a while to load properly, but it's nothing major. Button inputs on horse didn't always register right when it came out, but that might have just been the servers. I'm not too sure, to be honest. The negatives aren't something that bothers me too much at least, and the game is more than playable, and that's a lot more I can say than like most games that come out nowadays. I've had a look at the Steam reviews, and like most negative reviews are just people complaining about either performance issues or the difficulty. If you're complaining about performance issues, then fair enough, because I have had some as well. Nothing that breaks the game, but it's still a bit annoying. Nothing they can't fix though. If you don't have the specs for the game though, you only have yourself to blame, so yeah. If you're complaining about the difficulty because you're being two-shotted, just explore and then come back to the boss. The blessings are essential unless you're like a dodge god. If you still can't beat the boss when you came back, just get good. I know it's like a bit of a meme now, but that is just what you need to do. Just learn the boss's moveset and learn how to dodge properly. I feel like there's so many people that still don't know how to dodge. There are iframes in the game. You're supposed to dodge into the attacks because you're like invisible for like a split second when you dodge. Just learn how to fucking play the game, and then you can complain if you can't do it after that. That is going to be it for me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to be away for a couple of days, but after that I will continue streaming the DLC on Twitch. Good luck on your journeys, fellow Elden Lords, and I will see you next time.